These are the secrets to what I believe some of the most successful people in the world know about real success. My name's Pedro LaTorre, and I help people just like you discover, enjoy, and sustain their purpose. So here's the deal. I was 7 years old. My father, my hero, he got down on his knee in a small town and he said, "Son, you are the man of the house now, so take care of your mom and take care of your sister." Divorce entered my story for the first time. I say the first time because it wouldn't be the last time. By the time I was in middle school, I had seen 2 failed marriages. I was frustrated, I was burnout, I was confused, I was fighting and trying to earn love in every sense of the word. And so I wrapped up all my identity in the game of baseball. And I don't know what you've wrapped your identity in, but we all do this to some degree. And mine was baseball. And so I hustled and I was trying to be the absolute best athlete I could be. And at 17 years old, I had all kinds of professional teams saying, "Hey, you could play at a high level, if not a major league level, and you have your whole future in front of you." So my identity is wrapped up in this game. I get up, my first at bat, my senior year of high school. It was the second pitch on the outside corner, for those of you who love baseball. And I hit a home run over the left field fence, an opposite field home run. And as I'm rounding second base, I noticed something had gone wrong in my body. And later I would find out that I had torn my rotator and my labrum in my shoulder. Now, for you, you might go, "Okay, that's bad, but like just have surgery." But you don't understand, when your identity is wound up in something, tangled in something, and in one moment it gets completely untangled, there is this mess that starts to happen inside of you. Now, I'm so thankful for that mess because that mess began to show me that my work and my worth can be separate. And when your work and your worth can be separate is when you have the opportunity to live at a high level, to live with a healthy mind, a healthy body, and move at a healthy pace. So I told you I was gonna share this quote with you, right? So here's the quote. I have surgery, I go back and I'm trying to sign, and I'm trying to play baseball still, right? 7 months of rehab and all this stuff. And somewhere during the surgery, post-surgery process, I'm recovering, and I hear this quote, and this quote is what changed it all. So if you don't stay on for any more, just hear the quote, and if you need to click off and go say what's up and message her to your grandmother, it's totally fine. Tell her Pedro said what's up. But here's the deal. This quote was the game changer. Ready? It said this: "Unhappiness is not knowing what you want and killing yourself to get it." Unhappiness? You want to live an unhappy life? Just basically don't know what you want and just strive and pine and do everything you can to get that thing. What thing? I don't know. The thing you say I don't know. It's confusing, right? That's the point. That's the life I was living. I had wrapped up my identity in baseball to get some form of success, but really, if I can be just transparently honest with you, I was trying to earn love. That's the thing I was trying to earn. And now that I'm old enough and I can look back and I go, oh, I was trying to earn love. My dad loves me. I don't have to earn love. My mom loves me. I don't have to earn. My step-parents, they love me. I don't have to earn. But it wasn't until I heard that quote that I began to realize, wait a minute, it's not enough that I can detach my work and my worth. I actually need a clear path for my work. I need a clear definition for what I'm here to do while I'm on planet Earth. You see, I spent a lot of time acting out other people's definitions and versions of success. Yeah, I would see another person and I would see what they value and I would see what they think is successful, and I would just try to do that. And the problem with that is you lay down at night and you look in the mirror and you know, I don't know what I really want. I don't even know what's really going to satisfy me. I don't even know why I'm on planet Earth. I don't know what my purpose is. So the worst thing that can happen to a person who doesn't know what success looks like for them, you want to know what the worst thing is? You become successful. Yeah, because you have the thing everyone else is going, oh, that's the thing I want, dude. That's the exact, you did it, girl. Like, you did the thing. That's what, and you go, yeah, but it's not doing it for me. It's not satisfying me. Why? Because when we live our lives in alignment with other people's definitions of success, We get to the end of our lives and realize we lived out of alignment. And when you live out of alignment, you begin to question your entire existence. And I want to save you the time, the energy, and the peace of mind to know that you lived your life, the life you wanted to live, that you didn't spend it trying to earn love, trying to get other people's applause and affirmation and accolades, that you spent your one and only life well, and you did things that mattered to you. So how in the world do we do that? How do we do that in this little bit of coffee time that we get together? How in the world could I possibly give you a path to living your life, your dream, your vision, your business idea, your purpose? I think the question that we have to ask ourselves right now, the question that matters more than probably any other question that you will ever ask or try to answer in your life, is this question. Here it is. How do we clarify our convictions and live each day in light of them? As leaders, how do we clarify what we believe deep down inside of us and then have the courage? It's not enough to have the clarity, then have the courage to actually step into the world and live in light of those things, even when they're in opposition to other people's convictions. How do we step in and go, I'm a leader, I'm a world changer, and I have greatness in me, and I'm gonna live my convictions every single. How do we do that? So I'm gonna give you 3 points right now, 3 points. These are the secrets to what I believe some of the most successful people in the world know about real success, lasting success, meaningful success, the kind of success that you get not just in some former, like far out version of success, but you get today, that you can wake up to tomorrow. Here it is. Ready? Number 1, stillness. You want to know how to get real success? Then you better start practicing stillness. Okay, well, I do that sometimes, Pedro. Like I get still every now and then, and yeah, I'm not talking about getting away from people. I'm not even just talking about taking a vacation right now. What I'm talking about is a very intentional time of stillness. Why is stillness so important? Well, let me share this quote with you. This quote is by a guy named Blaise Pascal, year 1654. I love all the old cats. They know more than we do. They just do. He says this: all of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. All of our problems, you want to know where they come from? Our inability to sit quietly in a room alone. When was the last time you went into a room and you sat quietly alone? Some of you are getting anxiety even as I talk about it right now. You're like, oh God, like I don't do that. I don't want to do that. That sounds horrible, Pedro. Why would you tell me in this little brief coffee time that we get? Why would you tell me to go get still? Because if you don't get still, it may cost you your purpose. I've seen it happen. Oh, you've seen it happen to other leaders? No. I'm not talking about other people. I've seen it happen to me. When I'm not in touch with what's going on inside of me, when I'm not paying attention to what is grabbing and groaning for my attention, when I'm not paying attention to that thing has the ability to rule my life without me even knowing it's happening. It's so dangerous. Stillness is how we protect and we project our convictions into the world. This is how you're gonna live the life you actually want to live. Listen, I know we live in a culture that's like, nah, we hustle, we run. Yes, absolutely. I'm all for the hustle. I'm all for the hustle. It's awesome. But do you know what you're hustling for? Is it worth it to you? Have you asked that question? Have you gotten still long enough to go, is this thing that I'm giving my one and only life to, is it actually worth my time and my attention and my resources and my energy? Because if it's attached to other people's affirmation of you and me, guess what happens? We live enslaved to their perception, which means we can't look at the thing that's in front of us, our purpose, our meaning, our one and only life. Stillness, I told you, is where you separate your worth and your work. Now, for you, you might be like, they're not separated at all. Like, what I do is who I am. Listen, you can live like that, but here's what I'm telling you. At some point, if you live long enough, your work is going to fail you. You're not going to be gifted enough. You're not going to be talented. If I can be really honest with you, just the other day I said to somebody, I am giving my absolute best in this area of my life and it's falling short. There's going to be times where your work lets you down, where your greatest ambition, your greatest energy, your greatest efforts, they fall short. They fall short. That's called being human. But if your work and your worth are so entangled, then guess what happens? You begin to believe the lie that you're a failure. Or like me, because I was from a broken home, I'm now a broken man who can't do anything whole and honest and real in the world because I'm shattered. I'm used goods. So do you see what happens when our identity and our actions begin to intertwine? Danger, redlining. This is where most leaders fall. So listen, I want you to be able to go the distance in your purpose. So I told you, number one, you have to learn how to get still. I challenge you today, if you don't go any further in this video, to go take a moment, 4 minutes, and write down some thoughts. Get alone in a room and write down some thoughts. Be aware, because what has your attention rules your life. Okay, number two. Ready? This is number two. This is number two on how we live from convictions despite what we see going on in culture or around us. This is a little bit of a weird point, but here it is. You're gonna have to find your tree. Yeah, find your tree. For those of you who live in a desert, if you're watching this, it's gonna be a tough one, right? I don't mean literally. You don't have to find your tree in that sense. I mean, there's a quote I heard one time. I think I was 13 or 14 years old when I first heard this quote. Abraham Lincoln, right? Just crushing it in the quote game. Go look him up if you've never heard of him. I'm like, what? It's Abraham Lincoln, bro. Abraham Lincoln has this quote, and he says, listen, let me read it. Abraham Lincoln has this amazing quote. He says, if I had 9 hours to chop a tree down, I would spend the first 6 of those hours sharpening my axe. Wait, what? If you had 9 hours to chop a tree, you would spend the first 6 of those just sharpening your axe. Why? Let me tell you why Abraham Lincoln said that. Because in Abraham Lincoln's day, the tools he had were limited. So he had to really sharpen the tools that he had. Maybe you already know where I'm going with this. Maybe you don't, but check this out. You and I don't lack tools. We have every platform that you can possibly imagine. They've all been sharpened for us by algorithms and by data and by analytics. And they can all tell you how to best reach your customer, best reach your potential client, best reach your grandmother from across the country. Like they can help you engage and be entertained and all of these things. So what we don't lack in this world right now is tools. I mean, good God, we have more tools than we know what to do with. But you know what Abraham Lincoln had over you and I? He knew the tree he was trying to chop. Have you found the tree that is worthy of your life? Have you found the task that is worthy of your one and only life? Have you found the thing that wakes you up in the morning and you go, I'm going to show up for this thing and I'm going to give everything I've got to it. I'm going to give my life to it. Why? Because I've deemed it important. Because I have convictions around it. Because I get chill bumps when I talk about it. Because there's something in me that says I have to take the step and do this thing. And I'm not worried anymore about what other people think about me. I don't care if they think I'm crazy for sitting here chopping at this tree. You and I, we don't lack tools. We lack trees worthy of our energy, of our effort. We lack purpose. Some of you have become successful at other people's versions of purpose so long that you forgot that there was something in you from the time that you were a child that was living inside of you, that you were destined to do, that you were purposed to do. So you settled for the life that everyone else says, that's cool, that's awesome. You've settled for trinkets when you were made to run companies, to start movements, and to cause real change in the world. So why am I sitting here telling you, you got to find a tree? Because if you don't find a tree, you will clock in and you will clock out forever. And guess what? Here's the worst part about that. That's not even the worst part. The worst part is when you die, what will die inside of you when you die is the dreams that you carried. Dreams that could have changed the world. Have you found your tree? Have you found the thing that wakes you up in the morning and goes, I'm going to give my life to this. It's hard. Oh, it's hard. But I'm going to give my life to this thing. Why? Because I'm convinced. I'm convinced that it matters. Don't settle. Don't settle for having the tools to do anything that you never find the tree that really matters for your life. Okay, number 3, and we're going to close here in a minute. Here's number 3. Make room in the groove. Oh, this one's going to get fun. My coffee's good, by the way, in case you're wondering. How's yours? Good? Okay. Make room in the groove. What do I mean by make room in the groove? Well, many years ago, I was a touring musician. I was a drummer. And I loved, obviously, the groove of music, right? It has this groove when you're playing a drum thing, and it's a vibe. But every now and then, you come across people who don't leave much room in their groove. Let me explain. You come across people who would rather be a solo than a symphony. You come across people who would rather be the highlight, the focal point. And sometimes if we're not careful, social media can inflame this thing in all of us that I'm just totally okay. I'm doing everything I can for everyone to see me instead of everything I can to live my life the way I intended to live it. So here's my question for you right now in your life. And this is an important question to ask. If you're going to do something amazing with your life, you're going to launch an idea. If you're a CEO and you're going to sustain growth in your life, you got to answer this question at some point in your life. Is your life a solo or is it a symphony? Let me ask it a different way. Are you spending all of your time trying to get other people's attention? Or are you so secure in your purpose that all your time and energy is going to inciting a beautiful, meaningful movement in the world? One of the ways you know that the life you're living will have impact beyond yourself. Let me tell you how you know. Check this out. I wish somebody would have told me this at 17 years old when the minor league teams disappeared, when the opportunities disappeared. One of the ways you know that you're going to live a meaningful, powerful life is that you can't carry your life on your own. That you can't bear your ideas on your own. That you can't make life happen all on your own. Well, Pedro, how do you know that? Do you have a factual, like empirical, do you have some data you can give me? Yeah, Steven Spielberg. Man's a genius. He's arguably one of the greatest storytellers of our time. When it comes to cinematic picture, when it comes to creativity, look at E.T., look at Star Wars, you look at all the things he's done. Think about this. Steven Spielberg, one of the greatest storytellers. The dude is a giant. He's a beast. He's amazing. You ever notice that when the credits roll, there's a lot of other names rolling in those credits? Why is that? Because his ideas are so big that they stretch beyond the boundaries of his own gifts and talents. Are your ideas, are the things that you're trying to bring into the world so big that they require other people to show up, to come along board? What am I talking about? I'm talking about living a collaboration. I'm talking about being a living collaboration everywhere you go. That you allow people to step into the groove of your life because you're not trying to live a solo. You see, a soloist will attract attention. Oh, 100%. I know a whole bunch of soloists. I'll even be bold enough to tell you what soloists are in our culture because you're like, I can't think of anybody. Influencers. You want to know what a social media influencer is? A soloist. I just create stuff and I partner with people and I do stuff. Listen, if that's you, hey, more power to you. Do your thing. Like, get all your free coffee mugs and get all your cool stuff. Like, do your thing. But here's the problem with that. It's a soloist lifestyle. A true collaborator goes, there is some injustice in the world that I have to aim my gifts, my talents, my passion, and my one and only life towards. And I'm going to need people. I'm going to need a team. I'm going to need a culture of people who believe in this thing. Listen, the people I love working with are the people that when they share their ideas with me, they tremble a little bit. And they go, I know this sounds crazy. And then I lean in and go, yeah, tell me about that. Why? Because real, divine, magical, powerful, impactful ideas, they require weight. They require you to pause. They require you to live open-handed because the thing that you're trying to build is bigger than your brand. It's bigger than your face. It's bigger than, listen, I'm for all of that stuff. Do that stuff. Create your thing. Build your brand. but I'm trying to challenge you to live a life beyond the boundaries of your own concern. I'm trying to get you to think, even just for a moment, what might it look like if I spent my life trying to breathe life into other people? Whether that's in your community, maybe for some of you, that's in your home. Maybe for some of you, that's right down the street, it's a neighbor. Maybe for some of you, that's in a foreign country you've never been to. But what might life look like if you got still, you found a tree worthy of your life, and you began to collaborate with other people to see that thing come into the world? I'll tell you what it would look like. Art, a symphony. It'd be beautiful. People would stop and they'd look and go, what is that? You see, a street performer only holds your attention as long as they're in motion. But a symphony, they can come to complete silence and you're riveted. What's your life look like right now? Let's take inventory just for a moment as we close, we wrap up, and I take another sip of this unbelievable nectar of the gods. What does your life look like right now? Have you found the increase that comes from living a life of collaboration? So I created Purpose Academy to be a 5-week journey where I'm gonna walk with you and help you get meaningful results in life and business. Listen, my goal is that you not only get clarity, but you get some courage and you get a plan, a clear plan to live your convictions out in real time. So this 5-week course called Purpose Academy is going to be 15 years of learning, blood, sweat, and tears, all condensed down into a 5-week journey. And it's all go at your own pace content. But at the end of it, you and I are gonna sit together, much like this, over a good cup of coffee. And I'm gonna help you get that clarity that you've been looking for so you can take whatever is inside of you and make it real. Some of you have ideas living inside of you that need to be turned into income and impact. And I'm gonna show you how to do that. Hey, so if any of this resonates with you right now, let's just hop on a call and see if Purpose Academy is a good fit for your life and for your business.